Have you ever found yourself going, wow, how do things get so out of whack in my life? You know, it happens really quickly, right? Like it's not even really a question, it's more of an observation where you get to this point and you're going, wow, what happened? And it seems that you were on a certain track and then all of a sudden, you know, you don't really know where you are. Hi, I'm Paula D'Andrea for Rock Your Life TV. And, you know, I had one of my clients speaking about that the other day, just kind of like, you know, we're in session and just kind of saying, hey, I just don't know what happened, right? It seemed like yesterday and now it's, you know, a year later and I'm still dealing with this thing in my life. And that's how quickly it happens. I even hear it from colleagues. I know I've done it myself, right? As a transformation specialist, I pretty much have heard it all. You know, that's what happens in life. It just happens, right? Is that you know, you're caught up in what you're caught up in, whether it be work or your family or relationships or travel or, you know, any number of things. You might even be dealing with a life crisis that really is time consuming, an injury that, you know, all of your energy is going into your body, in a certain part of your body, and it's just overwhelming, right? Where you're finding that your day-to-day becomes something else. And you kind of feel that there's something that it isn't quite right. You can't really put your finger on it. It may be something that you've dealt with before that creeps in every now and again, or it could just be something that just like came up out of the blue, right? Like an accident, an illness, a sudden death even, sometimes that people have to do with loss, a job transition, even an empty nest. Even though these things happen sometimes gradually, all of a sudden it's like, boom, there they are, right there for you. And it can, you know, kind of take you by surprise a little bit and you feel out of sorts and a bit out of alignment. Well, how would you get back in alignment? How would you be able to, you know, look at your life and say, well, I do want something different. I'm not really sure how to get there. Well, in this episode, let's help you get there, or at least start opening you up about the possibility of how you could get there, right? First place to start is when you finish watching, go over to pauladandrea.com/RYLTV and pick up my fit guide. It's you know, it's free and it's really informative. And what it'll do is it will start to open you up into these different areas of your life that you may haven't looked at in a while, right? When is the last time that you had a little heart-to-heart talk with yourself? You know, just really got into that that soulful level and allowed yourself to just, you know, look at your spirituality about how you view life, how you view people in your life, circumstances in your life, your emotion, getting in touch with, you know, how you feel about things, because you know what? Those things change. And every time you have another experience, guess what? They change a little bit more. So it's always good to check back in. And you may find that there's been something that has been lingering from your past that you really haven't dealt with, that each time it comes up, you're so busy with your kids or your work or, you know, getting ready to make plans to go and travel somewhere that you just go, okay, I'll deal with it later. Well, later becomes later and later and later and later. And finally, you know, 6 months, a year, 5 years, even 10 years can go by and you're still in that same space with that thing that's been lingering. So how about just letting it come up and going, okay, and releasing it the way that it wants to release. Or keep part of it that might want to stick around. Who knows? It could be a good thing. And I really think that that's something I wanted for you to look at. I want to encourage you to start looking at your experiences as experiences and as learning tools, rather than this like dreadful thing that happened. And trust me, we could go war story for war story. I've had, you know, my share of life. You know, so I have a lot of practical knowledge as well as just, you know, things that I learned in life about how to deal with things like illness, with loss of loved ones, with you know, job changes, with you know, moving cross country, with, you know, all of these type of things, financial type of things, everything that becomes a stress in your life, that when you give it a different perspective, it doesn't have to be a stress. So how can you start getting into that space? Okay, well, you're going to go and pick up your fit guide at pauladandrea.com/RYLTV. So that's, you know, a great place to start. What else can we do? we can start to look at, what is it that's happening in your life? Are you at a crossroad? Is it something that is, looming really large, an empty nest even, a place that you find yourself after a certain role that you've had in your life? Could be a caretaker, right? That you may have just experienced the loss of your loved one that you've been caring for a really long time, or they may have gone now to a facility. And that's a big change, right? Because now it puts you back into your life, and it puts you back in touch to yourself. So it's like, okay, how do I line all of this up? Where do I start? Right? Just that's always, someone's first question. They don't even know where to start. Like what part of their life to start bringing into alignment. And my answer is always, let's go with the easiest. Let's go with something that is welcoming you right now, that is really, a nice, easy transition for you, because there's time for the big stuff. Why make things harder than they've already been? And a lot of times the easy spot is in physicality, because even though we're our energy, right? Everything around us and in us is energy, and but we have this physical, right? We've got this body that we're rocking in. So we want to be able to know, how can we take care of it? What can we do to, bring it to its optimal performance? And there's all sorts of things that are included in that, about like what you eat, how much you sleep, how much water you drink per day, how much you allow your body to move and do its thing. So all things like that. In the first place is to say, okay, what are some of the factors that I could change? That if I'm really out of whack in, right? I don't have that alignment in my physicality, that maybe, I'm smoking a lot. Maybe overeating because I've got so much stress. It could be that you've become inactive because you got so busy with, with your work or your kids, and you just haven't had time to spend time yourself to go out and even go walking, or you haven't made a priority. Let's look at it that way, of saying that, how do I prioritize things? Because it isn't always that you don't have time. It just hasn't been in the conscious level for you at this, up until now, where you can say, okay, this is how I can fit it in. This is the fit that fits right now for me in my life. If I just gonna, take a step back for a second and get into that spot, and just kind of give myself kind of like a bird's eye view, and be able to look down and say, okay, well, yeah, that, pretend like you're on that, the big board, they have in those movies like Minority Report is coming in there, and you can just kind of be like you're looking down over this big board with all the stuff that's in your life, right? Could be from your past, could be from your, present right now, maybe even a couple weeks ago, yesterday, an hour ago, and you're able to just kind of take it and slide it off, right? It's like a touch screen, and you can just start moving stuff around. So that's really what, getting into alignment for yourself is, kind of like moving stuff around. And when you can get stuff and you can just kind of send it off to the trash can or the recycle bin and just, get it out of the way, then it really opens up, right? And you have that, then you would have an open spot, right, on that board. So then you can you've got this, let's say we've got this other corner where it's got all of these little apps, we'll call them, right? Apps that are exercise, apps that are travel, apps that are a new relationship, apps that are a new job, apps that are going back to school, apps that are eating healthier, and we can take them and slide them back in and put them on this board exactly where they would fit for you right now. How cool is that? That's a pretty good game to play, isn't it? And it's really easy. It's also engaging, and it allows you a lot of freedom, right? You're able to make choices. And that's really what transformation is about. Giving yourself freedom in your life, allowing yourself to go, oh, okay, I can do this. Yeah, it really is that simple. I don't know what it is that people get caught up and they think that they can't do something. And I'm telling you now, and if you need it as permission, you can do something. You can do a lot. Actually, there's so much that's stored up in here. You have about 60,000 thoughts a day. A lot of them are recycled. So how about let's kind of lift the cap off, right? And be able to filter in some of the other stuff, pluck out the things, slide them off, delete them, send them to the recycle bin. That goes with the thoughts too, things that aren't serving you anymore. And start to let, read through, start getting some creativity, letting that spark, letting your brilliance come to light, and really step in and really let that start to fill you up. That's alignment. Integrating all of these parts, discarding what you don't need, bringing in what is meant for you right now. What you had in the past, hey, some of it could still stay on the board and some of it may have to go. We'll take a look and see what it's all about. And if you wanted some help with that, you could also go to pauladandrea.com/coach, and there's a form you can fill out, submit it, send it in, and we'll set up a time to sit down and have a consultation so that you can actually just get a chance to look at this. I'll get the bird's eye view with you and start going through some of the things, because this could be new territory for you, or just it's always great to have support and guidance, right? And to have a little bit of objectivity in how to approach something, because the old ways may or may not work. How about trying something new? How about getting a new vision? How about looking at it as a success? And I really want you to start looking at things from that perspective as well too, is that we've all had experiences in our life, right? I mean, man, we could sit down and have a party and go through all the war stories of the things that we've been through, and it is good sometimes to have those talks. The thing is that when they're still so emotionally charged and there's this hyper vigilance that's about them, being able to tone that down and then start to take that emotion and just let it be the energy that fills you up, that makes you powerful. That's what rockin' life is all about. That really puts you in the driver's seat and saying, wow, okay, hey, yeah, this did happen in my life. What I can do now is I can take that and use it as a learning tool. It's been an experience in my life. And it isn't anything that's gonna take me out, every time I think about it, or send me into some tizzy or just, emotional state. You can handle it. Sit back, take it in, let it fill you up, and really put it in the spot that really fits for you. It happened, and let it be. These are the type of things that we're looking at, and just bringing you into alignment. And some of those places, especially if they've been darker spaces, where you spiraled a lot and where you just took in a lot and really went through a rough time, I'm with you, because I've been there too, and I know that they're rough when you're right in it. You got that period of time where you're what we call restorative, and it's just man, you're going through it, and you don't want to hear about a light, you don't see a light. It's you get it, I get it. And then there comes a point where then it's then a little bit of you starts to come back up, and you can say, I have a choice now, because I'm down here. I'm really down here. So how can I take myself even, to here? And, sometimes you can go to here, but a lot of times when you're really in that spot, you just got to go by step, right? You got to bring yourself up a little bit, start bringing that vibration up a little bit, rock that out a little bit, go a little bit higher and a little bit higher, and then you kind of stay at a spot for a while, and it's okay, now I can take it up a notch, and it happens gradually, and it happens incrementally. That's just the nature of those things that really rock you hard. And then when you have those things that are a little less, don't have the enormity of those life crises that happen, you can automatically just zoom, make that change, and be rocking and rolling, and then let something else come up and rocking and rolling, and start constantly just finding those spots, going back to that board, sliding stuff all over the place. Okay, maybe I won't exactly send it. If you send it to the recycle bin, right, it's still kind of there. And I think it's when it goes to the delete bin, that's it, it ain't coming back. So just be careful about where your choices about where you want to store things, right? And that goes all the way around with memories, with experiences, and just, those parts of you that really make you, right? And play around with it a little bit. Have some fun. Really, get into yourself, know the best parts of you, and what it takes to rock your life. To be in that alignment, to know, how you really feel about things, to know what your core values are, to know that, you're good at, a size medium or a size 10, that you're solid in your relationships, that you've got the people that are next to you, that are really there to support you, that you're okay with leaving a job that you've had for a while, because now you want passion, you want to really be following your dreams, and you want to be doing something that's effective, that's making a choice, right? That you could use some visionary coaching, some success coaching to really make it solid, pull it in all together, and get into that alignment with your life where you celebrate every day more and more of you and the things that you're doing. That's what it's about. So I urge you again, head over to pauladandrea.com/RYLTV, get your fit guide, and I don't know, where are you watching this? Are you in iTunes? If you're in iTunes, you're in the self-help section, right? In the podcast section, you can download it as a video, and you can also have it as an audio. You don't have to always be watching, right? You can listen to it, and the things that make sense to you. It's free. Go ahead and download it. And also, if you would do me a favor, give me some stars up there on this episode, right? Write a review for me. Go to some of my other episodes too. Check out the ones that are for you and rock me out on that. If you're on YouTube, same thing. Subscribe. Make sure that you're catching all of the shows. Give a like. Give that thumbs up. Leave a comment, share it, go to other social medias, you can pin it, you can Google Plus it, you can send it to Facebook, whatever it is that is your style, wherever you hang out. Give me some help, show me some love, and spread the word, because that's what we're doing here, right? To rock life, we're like lifting that vibration together, sending out a good message, bringing the best parts of you in, getting in alignment, and really rocking it out. I'm Paula D'Andrea for Rock Your Life TV. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next episode, be sure to get out there and rock your life.